hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, we have two very special guests with us today. We have Jasmine and Alonda. And ladies, before we start, I'd just like to ask, how do you guys identify?
My pronouns are she, her.
I identify as a woman who happens to be trans. My pronouns are queen, mother, she, and her.
Queen,
Cool.
mother,
Queen,
she,
mother,
and her. Okay, let's get into that. Explain that.
down.
I identify as queen, mother, she, and her. A lot of people say, well, queen is not a pronoun. Mother is not a pronoun. Well, they are pronouns because both of them go by queen is a she pronoun. Mother is a she pronoun. I add that because that's what I say every time I speak. I look at myself as high. I put myself high above. So I look at myself as I say mother, who is the queen, who is over all, who is above. So I am queen. I am a queen. So I place myself at high standards. I am a mother. Because I am a mother, and then she and her comes afterwards. You better damn well call me a she. You better damn well call me a her. If you don't call me anything else.
So queen, mother are like affirmations to you, almost.
Yes.
Okay.
And I say that to myself every time.
That's
every
good.
speech you have hear me say, everywhere I go, every important meeting. I could be in the White House. I could be in jail. I will say my pronouns are queen, mother, she, and her. Daily News. Everywhere.
And you gotta address me as such.
I don't spoke in
Oh, what's the consequences? What's the consequences?
You don't want to find out, right?
No, there is no consequences. You just don't get no. You get no.
You don't get no respect.
That I just showed you the consequences. I won't say nothing to you.
There you go. When they go low, you go high.
I won't say nothing
Queen Mother,
to you.
we definitely respect both of y'all for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for taking
Thank
your
you.
time out. We appreciate you guys.
I do highly apologize about the tardiness.
They don't know.
It's alright.
You was on Queen's time.
You was on Queen's time.
Queen's time. So, ladies, definitely we want to educate everybody following on what it's like to be trans, what the trans movement is like, and just bring about awareness and education for people who may not understand, to be a little bit confused about what the struggle and the story may be like day to day. I think both of you guys, Alonda, Miss Queen, activism, and many other things. Tell us a little bit more about what your life is like on a daily basis and where you've come from and where you are now.
My life on a daily basis, my life consists of, I'm in school now. I want to say this, and I don't want y'all to stop doing what y'all doing. I suffer from a disease known as addiction. A drug, alcohol addiction. I used to drink, I used to get high, I go back and forth with it. Yeah, and whatnot. I said continue to do what you're doing. And I think it's very important that people continue to do what they're doing. It's because you're going to have to do it. You have to live with it. It's no stopping. It's a struggle, just like with any other disease. If a person with diabetes see somebody eating sugar, you can't tell them to stop eating
Peach cobbler.
If a person with cancer, you can't tell a person to cut off your breast because
You
I
can't
have breast
control
cancer.
other people, but you can control yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
It's mindfulness. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you handle it. So with that being said, that this is life and this is something you have to deal with. I can't control your drinking, but I can control what I do to it. I can control my nose. I can control You know what I mean? And I can control my phone and pick up the phone and say, look, this is what happened today. Afterwards, and do what I can. That's one of my things. I'm long-winded, so you will have to cut me off.
Queen.
You know what I mean. Also, I'm in school. I'm in a program where, because I dropped out of school when I was in my 12th grade. First semester because I pursued to become a woman.
Okay.
This was back in 2005. Unfortunately, it took me a long time to go back to school to get my high school diploma. Now I'm in the Helms Academy program where you get 30 college credits to get your high school diploma. It's half of associate's degree. So I'm doing that right now as we speak. I'm doing that. I'm also doing a lot of the Northeast Regional Director of the Dijon International. He's a trans man who is he has his degree in the Bar Association. And he helps a lot. He teaches a class with high school students on the Bar Association. Talks about trans. He's an activist too as well. He does a lot. That's just one of the many things I do.
Okay.
That's good.
Which I don't want you to answer all our questions in the one synopsis.
So the thing is, we want to be politically correct, and I know each individual identifies themselves and are comfortable with certain words. I heard you say tranny. Are you okay with someone in just a general conversation addressing you as tranny, or do you prefer?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I just want to. No,
tranny.
I heard her say. I believe it's
Not that.
trans. Okay, I stand
trans.
corrected. I just want that's why I asked the question, because I want to stand corrected. In my mind, I'm always going to identify by her name. She introduced herself to me as Alonda. She is Alonda.
Which let me point this
expound on that?
Exactly.
Wait, and let her explain.
Well, and Jasmine, not to cut her short, but because it came up, and for either of you ladies, what
this
does
is a learning opportunity for everyone.
Yeah.
What does that word mean to each of you?
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, let her
For
go.
me, it is a derogatory term.
Mm-hmm.
I identify as a trans woman
Mm-hmm.
or a woman of the transgender experience. It is an
Eloquent.
It is. So I think in most contexts, people use that word to try to make the person feel like they're less than.
Okay, to hurt.
To hurt, yes. And so I choose not to respond, not to give the reaction that people are trying to obtain when they use that derogatory term. So I don't give the word any power at all. So that's my choice. But yeah, it's derogatory. So
The word tranny came from porn.
Porn?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it was used to look at us upon being a fetish. And they, people thought it was like, they looked at it as a fetish. With that being said, the word tranny, it was a fetish word.
Okay.
I am more
Go ahead.
I don't know if y'all are cussing, but I'm a more fornication under the king considered fetish. And I'm not a fetish. So tranny is equivalent to the word nigger. Equivalent to the word spick. Equivalent to the word cracker. Equivalent to the word faggot.
Yeah,
So do not call me a tranny. I am not a tranny. I do not live like a tranny. I am more than a fetish. I am more than any other things that you think that I am. I am a queen. And I conduct myself in a manner. And I don't care if I don't conduct myself in a manner. I don't care if I am a sex worker. Do not call me a tranny. I don't care if I am a porno. I am not a tranny.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think going back, because of your experiences, I think a lot of times we look at the dark side of being a trans person, especially coming up as a teenager and then going into adulthood. So I really do appreciate you going back to school, getting your degree, and doing things for yourself, because a lot of times we don't hear those stories. We hear transsexuals are this or they're that. It's always a negative connotation with it. So to see two positive people to come on the show and express their experiences is really appreciated. But
Which, Jasmine, I believe you have a very different experience in the coming out story than some may. From what I understand, you were already in corporate America doing your thing when you decided to take on your transition.
Yes.
What was that like? And was there less fear associated knowing that you might have had more job security than maybe a woman entering?
good questions. Yeah, I consider myself a late bloomer. Even though the seed was always there, I didn't blossom into who I am until later in life. I started my transition at the age of 30.
Okay.
So, yeah, 8 years ago. So, yeah, I was already in my career. I had going to school, finished college, went to graduate, went to law school after that. But, so when I made the choice or the decision to
Living
live in my truth, yes, and transition, It didn't take away that fear. I still had a lot of anxiety. I dealt with many years of therapy. I thought about it for many years. A lot of people who knew me didn't know what I was going through internally. So yeah, but I made that choice, and even though I chose to face the fear, I can't say whether or not the fear was greater than someone who has transitioned earlier in life, because I don't have that experience, so I can't tell. But what I can tell you that the fear and anxiety was there.
Of course. I would assume or wonder the fear that both of you ladies have, assuming that you had gay friends before the transition. Was it just as hard to tell a gay male or female in the LGBT community, I want to transition? Is it the same fear that you have of telling maybe family or non-LGBT people?
From my experience, these are great questions. Yes. And in fact, one of my good friends from high school did not take it very well. Okay. And he's gay.
Okay.
Wow.
He did not take it well at all.
Why do you think that was?
The way he explained it to me was that he just didn't know how to deal with it and react. It took one of our straight female friends to sit down and talk to him and explain to him what I was going through and how I needed his support. Yeah. And so with anything that he was feeling that I was feeling on another level, she explained to him. It took that, because it was rough. I thought our friendship was over. I really thought so. So yeah, it was tough telling even my gay friends about it.
And for you?
Well, me, it was weird for me. Well, no, not weird for me, because everybody, they was like, oh, you finally coming into your truth. Because I went through, it was just like, okay, I was gay, but everybody was like, okay, we knew that. It was like, oh, okay, Adolphus, we knew that. We knew you was gay. I was like, I'm trans. Okay, we knew that. You finally being yourself. Okay. Because I looked like a girl when I was younger. I used to get mistaked for, that's my phone. I used to get mistaked for a girl all the time. I had a feminine face. I haven't had no surgery or nothing. So I used to get mistaked for a girl all the time. I looked like my little sister. But now what happened was, when I came up out of it, now what that lingo is, when you first start as a girl, then you decide to detransition. Detransition is when you stop wanting to be dressing as a woman, and you say, I'm going to just be, just be a man, or try to be a man and live my life as a man.
Now, when you say live your life as a man, as a gay male or just a regular, just a straight male?
Well, I tried to be a straight male.
It didn't work for you. I know how you feel.
Why did you try to be a straight man? What drove you to try to live that life?
Well, how long y'all want to have to be here?
Go real quick.
Because I went to jail, and I thought, they threw the whole Bible up in my face. The abomination, and you're going to hell, Leviticus 19.
Look, say no more. Say no more. Say no more.
That's another subject.
We're all familiar with that story.
We're very familiar.
The way of the world.
Yes.
And I've
tried
Bible
it too.
Before you transition,
did you try? Or sleep in the bed when you're right.
Yeah, I tried. I had a girlfriend in high school. So yeah, it didn't really go anywhere. I mean,
it wasn't natural.
It wasn't natural. And I'm curious, like Phil and I talk. For those of you who don't know, I've known Phil since sixth grade, so he knows me. And he said like it was obvious back then, like
she wanted to transition.
She was the same person she is now. It wasn't much. It wasn't. She didn't have to feminize herself anymore. She same way she was in middle school.
So I'm just like, I find that fascinating, like that someone saw me in the light in which I saw myself. So I was just like, wow, yeah. So I know it just gives me confirmation that, that I'm living in my truth.
So let me ask you ladies this. Malik Yoba straight male actor, recently comes out and says, as a straight male, I could love a transgendered woman. I believe he says still consider himself straight, and
Did he said love, or he said just that he's attracted?
He's trans attracted.
Oh, well, okay, so he did say trans attracted. We won't put words in his mouth. But I would assume he's saying he could be in a relationship with a transgender woman and it be okay.
I don't make that, I don't jump to that assumption, because I find in my dating life, there are some men that are attracted to transgender women, but they don't feel like they can make the leap to be in a relationship.
Because it's just a fetish at some point.
It's not a
Possibly.
fetish. I just think it's just
For whatever reason, I've
As
met
opposed to loving
men,
the person.
yeah, so I don't necessarily jump to that conclusion.
Okay.
I need for them to show me through their actions that they're willing to date and to fall in love with a transgender woman.
Okay.
Now, for both of you ladies, do you find yourselves more attracted to gay men or heterosexual men?
Well, gay men aren't attracted to women. They're attracted to men.
And I am a woman. I am she.
Which, again, this is all an educational thing, so sometimes...
Yeah, I never understand it. I get questions from my family and stuff, like, oh, so you date gay men?
I'm that family member. I was that doofy cousin just then.
No, you think about it, gay men are attracted to men.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to ask me that question?
Yeah. You said, do I want to ask you that question?
Do you want to ask me that question?
So it might be a little different. So maybe.
Share your story. Share your truth.
I'm attracted to trans men.
Oh.
And we've had that. We talked about that.
And that was one of our future questions.
Yeah.
You hit it on the quick.
Trans men are men with the trans experience. Men who were who were once cis women, so they were born women, and then they decided to transition. I'm also attracted to studs and butches and aggressive women.
Okay.
So would y'all be technically considered classified as
a heterosexual
relationship, right?
I'm just classified as a Londa.
I mean,
Queen mother.
Well, for the
But it's like, okay.
It's too
If it makes you feel good
Not
to put
me,
me in a
but-
box,
This is what.
How different is the black transgender experience versus the white transgender experience?
Bruce Jenner.
Child.
Or is there a difference?
I don't consider Bruce no transgender. I think Bruce is attention. That's just
No. It's a different
what
experience.
we're gonna do is we have to respect
Thank
her.
you. Get her together.
When someone says they're trans, we have to, even the ones that don't take hormones, even the ones who
It's getting under your skin too.
gender non-binary. When a person say they trans, that's when they trans.
Is that all that it takes to just say it, or
I think, it's up to the individual
Yeah.
to identify.
Okay.
It's,
So
nobody has the right to identify who you are.
I was gonna say, but for the first part, it sounds like trans is an identity, not a process.
Yes.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. Okay.
Trans is identity, not a process. Now, the different thing, I can't, because I, for one, cannot speak for a white person.
Okay.
Now, me as a black person, how I see the white struggle different, I can't say. I don't see a bunch of white trans women, and I don't know if you can agree with me. I don't see a bunch of white trans women getting killed for being white.
Mm-hmm.
I see most of my sisters getting killed out there on the prostitution stroll.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even see a lot of white trans women out there prostituting. I do see them, but I don't see many of them.
I think they say this year alone it's up to 22, and the majority of them
Well,
are.
Alicia is
That's
still
recorded.
yet to be determined.
Yeah.
Because Alicia is still
That was the
yet
one
to
that
be
just
determined.
passed this last week, right?
And that's very hard for me because I used to work next to her. I used to see her all the time.
Wow.
So I'm really dealing with that. That's a really hard one.
Which this is also Trans Awareness Month. Did you ladies know that?
Yes, I know that.
I just found that out.
Did you ladies know that? Did you ladies know that?
Lady, did you know that?
No, I just found out today.
I'm very aware of that. I made a sign and it said, if Black Lives Matter, then why keep killing trans black women?
So why do you think that the white experience is different from the black experience? Do you think that it's, you know, just in the African American community, they're just not comfortable with trans? They're uneducated about trans.
No,
Well, we're black. We're black
It's,
at the end of the
go
day.
back to the Willie Lynch
We're black at the
letter.
end of the day.
How they said keep us separated. Like for instance, one of the lines said keep the old separated from the young and have them go at it. Like for instance, I'm gonna use it. No, old head, you don't know what you talking about. Young boys, y'all know what y'all talking about. Keep the women against the men, the men against the women. That's what you think they gonna do with
Keep it separating so that way we can't have a conversation.
Right.
We can't unite.
Keep the jobs
There's
different.
power in unity.
Right. They wanted to do that to us so we could keep this up for thousands of years. So when we add another letter, which was the G and the B and the L to the black community,
It's division.
it was going to keep it going. So he went down to the jobs. He said, keep the jobs separated in the house. He wasn't just talking about just the house. He was talking about even in the when these people get their college degrees too. He knew that we probably was going to read and write. He knew it. So when we get the college degrees and stuff too, let them think they better than the next person because they got higher
They got an
standards.
associate's degree. You
So
feeling
it's
yourself.
So it's like,
Or they got a bigger house or a better house because he even went down to the plantation. But when we start breaking it down, when we start learning this letter and breaking down, and like we break the Bible down and start looking at every line and every scripture, and we start breaking on it and say how we gonna work this, then that's when we lift in that table. You know how that picture and say all we gotta do rise up? Guess what's on that table?
The black people's underneath of that.
Right, but guess what letter is on that table?
There's letters on the table.
That Willie Lynch letter. That's what we gotta rise up.
so it's like there's just it's being black is one thing, but then being black and then falling into the categories of LGBTQ, IA, G, something, whatever.
A, B, C, D, G, F,
Element of T.
That's what we
Right,
say.
exactly. You know, it's like we are fighting. Oh, we're fighting amongst ourselves, and we're fighting. It's just a fight,
We're human
and
beings.
it's like we're not getting anywhere unless we all get on the same page.
I think for black people, I think black people first have to say, okay, you can take the LGBTQ part of it out, but we're black first.
Exactly.
They consider us as they consider a mental illness.
So, and that's the thing with the it seems as though with the cis population, how they view trans people, they view or even gay people, they view us as not being one of them. So that's separate. You know.
I wish at the Trans March we Christian Love Hall, who is also another activist. He probably gonna kill me for saying his name, but hey, he's an activist, so this is what we sign over. But he played something at the Trans March. I'll get it to y'all, but I'm trying to get it, and it was deep. It was deep what he played. And it was talking about attacking the little minority first. And then it was talking about attacking the big minorities. And it was like, yo, that's what they're trying to do.
Black people got so much power. Even if black people accepted gay and trans and that population, we can be so powerful.
But that's what they don't see.
You know,
Y'all don't see, like, y'all, I want to say y'all dumbass motherfuckers, y'all don't see it. They attacked us the same way they attacked us. Now, I said, y'all heard what I said?
No, we know
I hear
exactly
what you're saying.
They attacked us the same way they attacked us. Now, I have to say that because it's us. Now, a white person would say they attacked us the way they attacked y'all. But I have to say they attacked us. Wait, I got to say it like this. They attacked us the way they attacked us the way they attacked us. So, with that being said, they still attacking us. Wake the fuck up. And I say it so intensely because people have to understand. Man, this conversation conversation just went somewhere else.
but I mean,
it's
part of the
like it's where we have to go. And what I'm doing here is let's take all these damn letters out.
Okay.
Let's take all these damn genders out. Let's get rid of the cis. Let's look at the color. And let's take these, this motherfucker Willie Lynch, stupid bitch, tried to do. And let's do this. And let's get rid of this letter. And let's rise up on that table. And let's get the living shits out these white motherfuckers. Because he also said, let them feel that they always need us. And that's the part that get me bottled up every motherfucking time. That's the part that bottles me up. And I heard y'all said, somebody said you was talking about, dating out of the race and stuff. And I used to think that too. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And I still think that's cute and wonderful too. But then I go back to that letter and instead of make them feel like they need us every fucking time. And I said, bitch, I can't do it.
I always wondered about that, and I know this is kind of
off
segue, but my mindset was,
they be looking good.
Did you see that movie, American Son?
No, I didn't get a chance to see that, but it was more so. It's like, okay, so you decide to interracially date, regardless of if you identify with that or whoever you fall in love with, and they just happen to be white. We're just going to use white. Because obviously it's white versus every other minority, right?
Control.
Exactly. Controlling population. So you fall in love with somebody that's white, regardless of a gender, a sexual role, whatever, right? You fall in love with this person, and it's the person, right? But what about their family? The person is very sexually fluid, support, believe in you, don't want to see you fall, don't hold you to that typical standard of what we're projected to be, and love you and value you for who you are, being black, being gay, being pans, trans, whatever you identify it, and they accept you for that. But then you have to deal with their family.
That part.
Yeah.
Now what happens? What's the conversation? Are they going to completely leave their family for the love of you? Separate themselves or isolate themselves? Lose their power? Lose their respect? Lose what they deem as opportunity to get ahead for love, truly, because we do it amongst ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
But are they willing to do it? To be a voice, to stand up, to speak up?
I think some instances, yeah. But I see your point with it.
But you don't know until
you don't know.
You don't know until you get to
in that situation where they gotta choose between family, money, power, respect, and love. And
because here's the thing, you can separate yourself from the family because there's always a cousin you want to speak to find out what's going on in the family, or is a mother always saying, I love you no matter what, call me every Friday at this time.
It's everything else.
But it's everything else. The sense of going from making 6 or 7 figures family to making pennies on a dime because of love.
So let me ask the both of you guys. Jasmine, I'll start with you because we know Queen Mother. Knowing what you know about your own trans experience, what advice would you give to a younger person thinking about transitioning or feeling like that's the road that they want to take?
My advice is to take your time. Take your time. I mean, for me, I know a lot of people do. I hear that, a lot of people, they want to see results very quickly or within a certain amount of time. And if they don't see results within what they feel to be, the time that they've given themselves, then they feel some type of anxiety or pain because,
Is it like any form of resentment almost?
No, not resentment. I'm talking about physically.
Yeah.
I'm talking about physically.
Is it almost as bad as, let's say, that 13-year-old girl, I'm getting ready to come to the 8th grade, and I just ran into Aisha, and she's got boobs.
Yeah.
And I don't.
It could be that.
Where am I?
It could be that, but everybody has their own journey, and you should not compare yourself to someone else. You know,
Do you think
whether the other person is trans, whether the other person is cisgender, you should not. You are on your own journey.
Can I ask a question and maybe a little ignorant? What is cisgender? What is cis? What is that?
That means you identify with the gender that you were assigned to at birth.
So I was
So-
born-
It's your box.
So you were assigned male at birth, and you identify as a male.
It's your
Okay.
box.
You're a
You just like
cisgender
males.
So I
male.
just
You're a
like the man.
cisgender male.
It's our box to
Sis.
put you in your box.
Oh, it's mine. Okay.
It's your box.
All right, sis.
Do you think that the waters for either of you ladies get muddled for younger people transitioning when you see popular trans women like Amaya Scott or Shauna Brooks, and it's like they're
Amaya
curvy, they're popular.
That part.
She get, what did he say?
King of Myers guy.
King Amaya Scott, excuse me. Which, let me ask, do you know, and I never thought about it until just now, is that what he's identifying as? She? Amaya, don't kill me, honey. And let's see, I think because didn't Beyonce do something like King or Queen and something she did at one point?
Foxy Brown did King.
That's where I thought that came from. I didn't
But you
even
don't know
think.
she's on Star.
Who? King of Myers Scott?
You don't know Amaya?
You know.
Oh, honey,
And
get
she wear
in.
panties.
On
She's on
Star.
yeah, Star.
Wait, y'all keep messing
Oh,
with
Amaya
me.
Scott.
Yes.
I'm messing
I'm trying to
with
get the
He's
name.
a
Do you mean
fetish.
the TV show Star that used to come
Yes.
He just has
Oh,
fetish
okay.
for panties.
But her name's Amaya.
Oh, gotcha.
Panties and underwears.
With the King part, I didn't even think. Could that be because she is identifying as King? Or I thought it was like a boss
What does she
situation.
identify as?
King
It's her not
is-
being in the box.
King is ruler. I'm a ruler.
I thought it was like, oh, I'm a boss and I'm a king.
Exactly.
Is what I took it as.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm running this shit.
Do you think popular transgender women like that confuse the situation for younger, which is
It's
maybe
no-
why they
it's
rush?
no- see,
And in the situation of what they rush to look like rather than wait.
I don't know if they rush. I'm just saying everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like,
Okay.
for that young person, your journey is not going to look like someone else's journey, and you have to understand that everybody's body chemistry is different. The way I reacted to hormones, the way somebody else reacted, that's going to be totally different. That's going to be unique to you. So you can't judge your experience based on what someone else went through. And so that's my piece of advice.
with that being said, I totally agree with her. Sometimes it can really get to you. You see one girl, she look like that, and you see another girl look like that, and you be like, well, what the hell did I do? Drugs really had an effect on me. I could have had the look. I could have been the it girl. I consider myself basic, and sometimes it gets to me. I beat myself up about it.
That's honesty. I appreciate that.
And I say, damn, I could have looked like this, and I could have been the Sanaya, Yeah, I could have been all that, and could have been the angels, and the face, and the overness, and the fat bitches, and all of that.
And was that a situation, and not speaking on their personal experience, but do you think for some of those women, it was just the luck of the draw with the hormones,
No.
or?
The surge?
It's not always hormones.
No.
Oh, yeah. I'm
no, they-
exactly.
Like she said.
I heard the surge, girl.
that
The
shit.
surge, yes.
It was,
Which is
No,
where I
I know.
It was-
I know.
But it was, they did what the hell they had to do. They got the game. They did what they had to do, and
While they
you
were in the
know.
basement, the hotel room.
I'm not getting into it.
You didn't say that.
that was their journey. Whatever
Exactly.
they did,
That was
was
their journey. Like, if you notice, I said the drugs affected me. My body went up my nose. It went in my pipe. I don't have a problem with explaining this because that was my struggle. Because I couldn't cope with the fact that I had to go out there and suck a dick in the cold weather. I couldn't cope with that. but I'm okay with admitting my journey because my journey is going to help a young girl when she has to go out there and be like, damn, she went through what I'm going through
I'm about
now.
to say amen. I'm about to put on church on it.
She going through what I'm going through now, and she made it, and she's going through school, and she's doing something else. And to me, to her, I might look like something. To me, I look like something. Wow, and she don't have no work.
The best gift that we can give is to be honest.
And to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And what I would say to that young girl, take your time. You never know what mom's going to do to you. I took my time, then the surge is free.
Damn.
Ooh. And I chose to take my time.
Transparency.
I've never had any type of surgery.
Right, and she, to be honest, I hate to look. I was like, oh, bitch, that's a cunt. I didn't know, so I had to look. I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to ask because the girls gonna be the girls, so you gotta be like, I don't want to make her feel it. I had to like.
I don't give her too much.
Yeah, but like really, but and I don't have no surgery, and I'm thick as a dentist. Thank you.
Yes.
You know. It's
and the thing is, y'all face the same challenges as we do. When you start putting people into boxes of, light versus dark, thick versus fit. It's just like it's always
a good girl.
Oh, I know I do. Thank you, bro.
She work out.
But
can't take me.
Wait, and what's even crazier? Damn, that's crazy. Through this whole couches, the brown skin, light skin, brown skin, light skin, light skin, brown skin, and that's go back to the Willie Lynch. We will separate them by the color of their skin. Yep. Light skin, brown skin, through the whole thing.
When the cops pull us over, we all black.
What Jay-Z say? Still nigga.
So, with all the hate and the violence that's going on in the world and all the shady stuff, how do you guys handle your dating situations? Especially with like now we have like some in the box of the gay apps. You got trade coming to people's houses and acting like they're coming to hook up and
yeah.
Or even if they do hook up, they strangling you and robbing you blind and things of that nature. And it's like, how do you know when it comes down to dating? Is there trigger action, trigger points, or
and when do you find yourself finding it to be the appropriate time to let somebody know what your situation is?
Your full truth.
Up front.
That's-
How does that go?
When I have dated online, so when I do meet someone from online, yeah, they know up front. Now, if I just meet someone randomly, just doing everyday shit, no, they don't know up front, and a lot of times I don't even entertain it. Like
entertain telling or entertain
I don't even
them?
entertain them because I just find that to be. It's a lot of baggage.
I'm about to say, is it like a security feature, like a defense mechanism?
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah.
So you like more dating online is like you can set the preliminaries in place and allow it to fall.
Yeah, I would rather be hooked up by one of my friends. That's my preference.
It's just easier going into it knowing that they already know. We don't have to discuss
that
it.
person has been vetted.
Do you want that person to tell the potential
Of
date?
course, yeah.
Okay.
So that person has been vetted, at least initially, through people that I trust and I love. So that's my preference. That hasn't happened. I haven't had that experience.
It's going to happen, girl. You want to talk on the
table.
They coming for Miss Jasmine.
But yeah, I just find myself in situations, even when online, I just find myself in precarious situations. Married men and this, they don't tell you that they lie. It's just like...
Which probably all goes back into I'm not your fetish.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a lot of craziness out there. And then when you just meet someone randomly, you have to think about your security. When is the appropriate time to tell this person? Should I tell this person? You have to get a feel for that person. You just don't tell them. I see
you shaking your head.
I don't usually tell them up front. So, but go ahead, sweetie.
Child, I don't date cis men. Fuck them faggots.
Don't do that because you want like nobody to call you.
I know. I just stop myself. that's what I do. I'm sorry, Father.
Well, why? Have you had bad experiences with cis men?
I'm just so sick and tired of them dogs. All men are dogs. And sooner or later, they're going to start barking. The words of Octavia. Saint Laurent from Paris is Burning. No, I'm just tired of them. They don't dog us, beat us, drag us. Y'all can have them. Y'all can have them. But no, seriously, all jokes aside, that's why I started dealing with trans men. They sensitive. They know how to deal with me. They understand where I'm coming from. They know how to deal with me. Sometimes
And it's good.
Sometimes it's not just that, but sometimes the man come out of me. They know how to deal with that shit. Sometimes they know how to deal with that.
She said they know how to deal with that.
They know how to deal with
y'all
They know how to deal with dog.
I love it.
They know how to deal with that shit. They know how to deal with that shit. They know how to deal with me. Like, they know how the compatibility. And y'all know how to deal with them motherfuckers.
Or do we?
Or do we?
Y'all, yeah, I give it to y'all. Yeah, man meant to be with man. Because I can't do it. I can't say that. Because I see it, it's all about compatibility. It's all about who you meant to be. I look up to God and I said, God, you know what? I had a conversation with God. I said, God, I'm going to tell you like this. You got to put on your blazer. And you got to say, God, you pick them. You pick them. Because everybody I don't pick, I don't got it wrong. You pick them. Because I don't pick the trans man, I got that one wrong. I picked the cis man, I got that one wrong. I thought I wanted the girl. I definitely got that one wrong. You know what, God, you pick them because I'm tired.
You pick who's for me.
I'm tired of picking the wrong one. You pick them for me. Okay? That's what I do.
That's a good prayer.
Sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes you got.
I need that prayer.
That's a good prayer.
Yeah.
Sierra prayer.
Yeah.
Sierra, what's your prayer?
I need the mood, the ambiance, the time, the outfit. I need everything.
Yeah, like, for real. You gotta put God first in all things you do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So he can direct your
100%
path.
agree.
Like, God, you do it. I'm done.
So yeah, that dating is.
But it's scary always.
Yeah.
Because even if you dating a trans man, a woman, everybody's capable of going crazy.
I was gonna say, do you ever fear like anything happening to you, like when you're out there like dating?
Anybody. Anybody, because it could be a setup. They could be bringing their brothers around to your house. I don't want to date nobody. Leave me alone.
I feel that way a lot of times. I just want to be alone.
I'm sorry.
Where do you think the fear of a transgender person comes from? Like, where do you think it stems from? Like, from even the hate part of it, like, to have that much rage and hate for.
This is so interesting. You talking about where does the other person they feel fear? What I've been told is that the fear comes in when they meet me and I'm not what they expected.
Okay. In what way?
Like in a good way. They're like, because people have stereotypes when it comes to transgender women, black transgender women. Actually, let me be specific. They have stereotypes in their head of what we all are, and when they see that, wait a minute. Wait, you're not a sex worker. You have a career. You can hold an intelligent conversation. You have your own place. You don't need me for anything to give you. I have no control over you. I have no power over you.
Oh, control! Come on,
here.
Come on, here.
They're like that. That's the fear.
You think that
that fear.
I agree with you.
It's like, well, I don't know what to do with you. Like, I don't, like, and they're like, well,
Holy
you
Ghost
know,
arising.
I don't know if I can do this because this is a little bit too much for me. Like,
And would you identify?
because I'm like, well, what, you're afraid of falling in love with me? Like, are you afraid that, they're like, yeah, like, I've actually been told, like, I think I am falling in love with you.
You're everywhere.
That's why I need to get out as soon as possible.
Because how do you deal with when somebody fall in love with you? How they probably think
They
about how
run.
do they deal with explaining that to
Yes,
the world who doesn't
exactly.
know?
That's
Exactly.
I've gotten that feedback. Like,
I'm
I don't know
taking
how to
you on
explain
my
this to
mama.
my family
Yeah,
and to my
and they
friends.
gotta deal with that.
Like, you're
backlash.
perfect in every way, but
yeah.
how do I explain this to everybody?
Right, and then
And
I
that's
want a
what
child
their
with
fear.
you, and I can't. Oh God,
So that's what I've experienced.
See, and I guess it's like for cis men or whomever who might be attracted to a trans man or trans woman, it's like at some point, just similar to our stories where you have to step out and start living in your truth. It's like time waits for nobody. You get one chance at this life. And that was something that my parents actually said to me when I came out, is that we lived our lives how we wanted to, and our parents didn't always agree with what we wanted to do. I'm not going to stop you from living your life and how you choose to live it. I'm okay. Mainly my mom in her head was having this talk with me. Not that my dad ever disagreed, but it was just sort of, I'm not going to stop you from doing what you feel is right for you. I did what I wanted to, whether my mother wanted me to or not. And I think if some people understood or had conversations, or the family dynamic was more open in telling their children, live your life. Find whoever makes you happy. And not everything is going to be an easy pill. This conversation, I think you guys may have checked one or two of us maybe once or twice
checked me for dick.
or something. And it's just like the education is there and we're open to it. And like Alonda said, Queen Mother, I'm not going to hold a grudge. Move on. You got what you needed to get with your information and your education. Don't let that shit happen again. But we going to move on. And it's just kind of, I think, in life and in different family structures, if people are more open to communication and talking, and I know that's not going to be in everybody's household, but if more households are open to coming to the table, having a talk, and just seeing what the ideas is that's going through kids' minds. So it's like, yes, I'm here to shape you, but I'm also here to let you explore whatever is happening. All right, so ladies, with everything that we've been learning today, feel empowered, feel definitely a lot smarter. Is there anything in Jasmine, I believe you started to maybe even mention, not knowing you were getting there, is there any documentation that trans men and women have somewhere, maybe in a file from 4 years ago when it was always starting, that's going to always be a constant reminder of who you were? Like, I know you get the name changes, the gender identity is changed, but is there anything that most of us probably don't know that's like, but you can't ever change this? Somewhere there's going to always be a form or something that says Jasmine was...
Birth certificate or something, you know?
No, not these days. You can get all that changed.
Okay.
What doesn't change ever are my memories, my experiences. I will always have that through the rest of my life. Like, everything that I've been through in my life brought to me to where I am today. Mm-hmm. And nothing can change that. Nothing. I'm looking forward to, making new experiences and seeing what life has in store for me. But nothing like physically, like, I don't know if you're talking about a documentation.
I don't know if there was something. I'm just wondering if there's like ever a paperwork or something that you kind of in your mind know somebody could go pull
Can
this.
you think of something?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe something at work or something.
Yeah, that's a couple of things actually.
Yeah.
So in the state of Pennsylvania, things that cannot be changed are the following. If you are a felon, things that cannot be changed is your name. But one of the people that are working on changing their name, that are trying to work on a case, is I, Alonda Talley, and two other people. We were in the paper not this one, that the Philadelphia Gay News. I wish I would have brought it. I'm seeking a case and I filed a lawsuit against Pennsylvania to get my name legally changed, um, because I had a felony, and I'm trying to file that. You can also get your name legally changed if you, on your birth certificate, I meant your gender mark legally changed on your birth certificate if you do not have a vaginoplasty or your your SRS down there as done.
So you have
Explain.
to.
I'm sorry. Go into or not go into detail. If you don't, you said if you don't have your SRS,
Sexual reassignment surgery.
so
Okay.
if that's not
Done. You
done,
cannot get your
Yeah.
name legally changed.
no, not your name. You legally change
Gender marker.
your gender mark
Oh,
on your
okay.
birth certificate.
Okay.
Okay, so the
So
MOD is
therefore,
that-
then what you get in a passport causes problem. Then you have to go over to another country with your gender
The wrong
mark
gender,
saying
yeah.
your birth, and then they see a male.
I was gonna
and-
say I feel like I've heard in the
and
past.
then you will look like a female, and it'd be
They
like
searching you in
oh,
customs.
Lord.
Well, and go into a country that may not be as tolerant
yeah,
to it.
like Jamaica, for instance, and then like it's going Chi mine going to
It's
stew.
going
Yeah, so it's a lot.
Who said she going in the store?
Yeah,
Kill you for that
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then like over, and then it's and each state is different. Cause in Georgia, it don't matter what you get, they ain't changing nothing. So it's like we going through the same
So,
thing.
the more you know.
We going through the same thing like with
Yeah,
the civil
state to
rights
state is
movement.
different.
going through.
It's been a very enlightening segment.
Oh, yeah.
I learned a lot, from you two ladies. We appreciate you coming. Like,
Yeah, we appreciate you coming, definitely.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any
But,
information?
I do. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to just say, is anything maybe we didn't touch on that you ladies feel like is very important that you would want other people to know?
Yes, y'all need to get trans men here because I can't tell you the story of. A
oh,
trans man.
we have one in the works. So.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure because I always talk about my trans brothers. They are very important to this segment. Trans men, they sometimes they are left out the loop,
Okay.
and they're very important.
Mm-hmm.
Like they need to be spoken upon too. And also like the division. No, we talked about that. That's very important. We need to stick together. But we've been saying that for years. And it's time to start acting.
We do. The one thing I want to say
But
is.
it's going to start. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's going to start. I'm going to start sticking together. That's all we can do is start with ourselves.
Yes, start, and this what you guys are doing right now is a huge step because I've always felt, even within our Black community, that there was some kind of division there between people of the trans experience and my Black gay, brothers and sisters.
The cis
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. So I've always felt like there was, I don't know. I always felt like gay men loved us to show us off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's my bitch. Oh, yeah. Oh, she, But are
It's
they
still that way.
really like about that
Are they really
life?
good?
Like, are they really, I don't know how to, I'm trying to think of the words to say, like,
Very
I don't want to
supportive?
be no one's trophy, not a heterosexual man's trophy or a gay man's trophy. I don't want to be someone showing me off like, oh, oh, she's fish or da-da-da. No, I'm a human being and I'm not.
I think the gays have like put y'all. Well, not the gays. I don't know who did, but as far as hierarchy, like you guys were on the bottom, and they always looked at themselves as better than, because the separation. Maybe?
I think the experience too. I think, like we talked
I think
about
it's
before,
I think
the
it's-
trans
it's
experience
control.
is a
Control.
little different at
It's control.
times.
From
than,
who?
Huh?
From who?
I feel like it.
Well, I just want I mean to finish this
I was
thought.
gonna say because the trans experience is a little different than your typical gay man's experience. But coming, y'all coming here and educating educating us on your experience, kind of opening that up. Like, okay, trans women and men, their paths are the same. They can do this. They can do that.
You said something about control.
I feel like that it's control sometimes when you have cis men, and it's more so coming from, and then see, I don't want to put the community out there like that because it's a 50-50 situation. But sometimes it's like one hand washes the other, but one hand is actually getting more cleaner than the other, and the other one's getting more dirty. So, let's say I decide to, in my mind, mentally, I'm starting to identify as a woman, and then I start moving into my womanhood of what I identify. And you're a cis gay man, and you see potential in me, and then you move me in a certain direction to get me the things that I need to get, right? So I'm confiding in you as a big brother or whatever the case may be, but you're utilizing me to make you money.
How are you making me money?
Whatever. If I decide to prostitute, if I decide to be a call girl, in, out, whatever, or if I start becoming your trophy piece.
I get the ballroom thing, but unless I'm taking her on as my little sis, as my hoe, she's not giving me her coin, and am I her pimp?
And those are not the only options these days.
I mean, but and what I'm saying is that's kind of where it kind of stemmed from when you start having the divisions where, some of the trans didn't, they depended on that. You know what I mean? And now they start developing, their own mind, their own understanding, the power. Like, listen, I don't need anybody. I can figure this out and do it on my own. So before it was more, for me, the way I saw it in my younger generation.
Because and I'm not throwing it that, but you do have a ballroom experience. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know that life. Yeah. So I don't.
But here's the thing: is a lot of it wasn't. There wasn't a lot. A large portion of it didn't have to do with ballroom.
I'm mentioning because Jasmine has had something to do with ball. I'm saying because in a house, you may have had a mother who was transgender or sisters who could have been. Since I wasn't a part of that lifestyle, I'm saying what you're saying, I don't know.
Right, and I'm just
so maybe that's why. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I didn't get it.
Yeah. So and this doesn't have necessarily exactly to do with the ballroom community. It's about someone seeing a weakness in someone and building it up for their own benefit.
Was you a Quran?
Kabbalah.
See, I think men, especially gay men, when they have girlfriends,
Queen Mother.
I feel like we always want that girlfriend. I feel like gay men always want that, and not all of us, but most. It was like, oh, my girlfriend is so pretty, and she do da 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 da. Like,
and she like, I don't want to be fucking pretty. I just want to be chill.
I want to say something. Can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Queen Mother.
I believe that. I don't know because I always felt like the gay men always I'm onto a ballroom. The butch queens always put the girls above. And they always give the girls in the ballroom scene, the girls, like Tony used to always say, the girls is what made the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the house. So the girls got placed at the top. And the girls, the girls who
the
were...
fab girls.
Yeah.
But that's what my point was. You're always trying to, even if she was basic, that gay guy is going to be like, bitch, we're going to get you a pump. We're going to fix your hair.
Yeah.
I'm going to sacrifice my fit to make sure my sister look like everything. So when we come through, it's like...
Life, so I don't know.
It was a lot of that, but then it was with the ones that wasn't, all right, now that I got you this fit or whatever the case may be, girl, I need you to go out there and make this coins pay this rent.
But that's what they would have told all the house kids, wouldn't they?
Because, I was
but wasn't that the job for all the house kids?
No, but this is what I'm saying. It goes beyond ballroom. This is what I'm trying to...
It was easier for the girl to go out there and to get that coin. It was. You would take care of your boy.
The boys would do the stunts and the girls
the boy would take care of you. If another butch queen got in your face, that boy would whoop his ass. He was not having it. Don't touch my wifey. Honey, you touch her, we will attack you. Mm-hmm. You get him.
Snap of a finger?
Yes. Do not touch my boy. Do not touch me. I will get my boys to get you. Danielle, Revlon, do not get them the snap of the fingers. So it was like an even. And like
All transgender did not extend or live in the ballroom. All cis.
Well, that's why I said even with our normal girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like with my best friend, she's a cis woman. But if we were going out, girl, what shoes you wearing? I think you should go and order them.
I don't have
Lesser
the
go.
ballroom experience, so I wasn't trying to go down that road. But I just know from my experience that when I was feminized, feminizing more. I don't even know what that's word, but
Made it a word.
yeah. I noticed people's reaction towards me. Like, oh, that's my girlfriend Jasmine. Oh, it's just like, no, bitch, you weren't like this before.
You think it was more the hype of saying, I know Jasmine a transgender woman
No.
versus Jasmine a woman?
It was like, oh, she's petite and cut, and she can pass
She's
the
passable.
fish.
Okay.
So I'm going to show her off. This is my girlfriend. Ooh, yeah. Oh.
And do you find that they needed to mention she was passing, or just
No, they didn't mention it. For me, for some people, it wasn't authentic.
Okay.
It felt more like, oh, if I did not transition, you would not be like all up in my face or, wanting to be around me.
Like if you were still cis male.
Yeah. So my thing is, love me for me, no matter how I identify physically on the outside. I'm still that same person that you knew before, and you weren't feeling it. And you weren't feeling it then, so don't feel it now.
So I'm feeling on my time now that I'm extra.
That's what I was talking about.
And it's funny because my friend, he was saying that, and he's just transitioned to a male, and he was like, dang, when I was just, a lesbian, they wasn't feeling it. And I said, oh, that's because we're the best of both worlds, baby. We are queens and kings. Not saying that y'all not, but we're queens and kings.
Oh, I got the best of both worlds too. Now don't try.
I didn't
What's
try.
your second world?
Hold on. Let them catch this on the air. I didn't try. I succeeded.
Let them get this on here.
But what I'm saying is, we have to recognize that we do stand out and embrace that. People are going to recognize us now. We do stand out. It's okay. We ain't got to let them always have it though. We don't have to let them. We don't have to give them our stand and whatnot. But
Oh no.
But what I'm saying is, I'm just having fun.
That was a long time.
Y'all had your wine, but this is mine. This is my get high, my life.
Oh, you over it?
Actually, she gave you a year. She gave you a year.
Are you over it?
Oh, wow. But no, it's
We do need to embrace it.
We have to embrace our life. You are very beautiful, and you have to embrace it.
I'm beautiful too, not just her.
Oh.
It's about trans, okay?
It just made me feel a little uncomfortable. Because I was like,
You wanted to hear it.
and this was, I'm speaking of one case
But
specific.
it's
I
like
just felt like it wasn't authentic.
You started your transition what year?
Me?
No, the only reason why I say this, the reason why I'm asking this is because as you're speaking and I'm watching you and I'm looking at your face, we had an encounter when I was younger, when I was in ballroom. And I want to say that I was one of the people that came to you and said to you, I liked you better as a boy because of your physical attraction. Not saying that you didn't have the right to transition, but I think I remember you.
I started remembering you too, because you was fierce back in the day, wasn't you?
Who wasn't that fierce?
And you was mean, like you was a badass, like you was a fighter, wasn't you?
I was with the Cavallis, yes I was.
You was a fighter. I remember.
So nice.
You used to point, and then you would twirl around, and you would say, "Bitch, I'll get you. Honey, don't play with me."
Oh, she was like that. She was
Yeah.
messy.
And that's why I started to look at you. I was like, "Ooh, that's that motherfucker. I looked at you and I was like, oh, bitch. That's what made me thought you was a Quran. Because the Qurans was fierce back in the day.
And then the Cavallis came along and tore their asses up, and they started acting right after that. But no, just no.
The Qurans was fierce. Like, I was like, but you was fierce.
I wasn't that fierce. The thing is that everybody
you was fierce back in the day.
Everybody always caught me at the wrong time.
Like you said some shit.
She felt like she was minding her own business when you walked over.
No. See, the thing is that because I used to live on Lombard Street. I used to live at 13th and Lombard.
Definitely you.
I lived at 13th and Lombard.
Right in the gate. The
second house from the corner. And I lived there when I turned 19.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Tune into our after show.
Yeah.